Thank you to the Desmoid Tumor Research Foundation for inviting me to this conference and giving me the chance to speak with all of you here today. I would also like to extend my gratitude to all the doctors and researchers that took their time to attend this conference. You know, if life was perfect, it would be boring. I never would have thought that a critical diagnosis could change my life, and so my journey has begun. My friend actually is the one who noticed the lump on my neck. It started out the size of a small golf ball, and I could barely see it. My friend asked me if I knew what was wrong with my neck. At first, I had no idea. He then showed me a picture of it. I still couldn't see it, but after he pointed it out to me, I could realize what he was looking at. I immediately went home and informed my parents. We decided we need to have it checked out. After some tests and a biopsy, I was diagnosed in July of 2021. We were referred to the oncology department at Helen DeVos Children's Hospital in Grand Rapids. We were given several options of treatment, from watch and wait, to chemotherapy, to immunotherapy, to a possible trial. It was very overwhelming. We needed to make a choice. We wanted to try and get a handle on this before my junior year of high school had started. The first treatment was an oral medication, pazopanib or Votrient. The side effects were not bad at all. Hair turned white and was a little more tired than normal, but nothing I couldn't handle. Although I actually enjoyed having the white hair, I wish I had it back. People would always ask me how my hair got this way, and I told them it was from a medicine. Then I would go on and tell them that they should get the same hair, just not the same route that I did. After 5 months on the first medication, we had a CT scan. It confirmed over 49% growth. Not what we had hoped for. Images were sent to Cincinnati for another opinion. After a couple weeks of thinking, I chose to enroll in a trial. Nirogacestat. We started this in February of 2022. This second treatment was also an oral pill, but it was on a trial. I had the worst side effects of all. I had terrible canker sores all inside my mouth, about 10 at one time. Couldn't eat much, was living on ramen noodles for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tried eating fruit and popsicles, but still the acid contents of those still hurt. I lost about 25 pounds of weight, mostly including muscle mass, and I had a lot of difficulty doing normal physical activity. I tried to get through it by stopping and starting the trial per the trial requirements. Finally, once the side effects were under control, they were starting to become a little more tolerable. We had another CT scan, and we had to be removed from the study because of over 20% growth. If not being a trial drug, the doctors would have kept me on this treatment. Our third treatment, we started chemotherapy infusions. We had vinblastine and methotrexate and Celebrex. Weekly treatment starting 6/22. Never missed a single week. Would have to miss school to go to the doctor's office. We went through this for 9 months without missing any day. Every time I had to leave school to go to the doctor's office for my infusions, it played a huge mental toll. I was sick of leaving my friends, my colleagues at school to go to the hospital and get this medicine. It also made me have a really odd feeling in my body after. After 3 cycles of the chemotherapy infusions, we had another CT scan in August of 2022. It showed continued growth in the mass of over 27%. As I headed into my basketball season, I didn't really want to change anything of my medicines, plus we knew this would be a long process. We met with a surgeon. We knew that this really wasn't an option, but I had to hear for myself. Wanted to get an opinion. He was not comfortable with providing any type of surgery, as there are many opportunities of reoccurrence, as the tumor tends to grow fast when bothered. We also could leave a big crater in the side of my neck when the tumor would be taken out. In October of 2022, we decided to go on a half dose of chemo so I can continue to play basketball. The doctor was comfortable with this as the CT scan showed minimal growth. After basketball season, the CT continued to show minimal growth. However, I was tired of the chemotherapy infusions and I felt very little progress. We then decided in April to make the trip to Cincinnati for a cryoablation. This was my 4th treatment that I've been through, and which was the cryoablation in Cincinnati, while also using sorafenib. The doctors at Cincinnati Children's performed the cryoablation, having to actually drill into the tumors because it was one of the most dense tumors that they have ever seen. Although the scans do seem to show some death of the tumor, the doctors and I felt there was nothing more we could do because of the density. At the current time, I still continue sorafenib daily. Research for a cure of this disease is needed more now than ever. With people being properly diagnosed, the need for a specific treatment is needed. It's hard to be diagnosed with a disease and be told, well, there really isn't a set protocol to be followed. Some things work for one patient, but not necessarily for another patient. Knowing you have a tumor is hard enough, but then to hear that there's no set protocol can also make it a lot harder. Throughout all these treatments, I've always felt a toll on myself. Because of this, I have had faith over fear close to my heart. I truly believe that keeping the faith as my main focus in my life can get me through any difficulty that I come across. I felt like I would basically have to live with taking medicine and make me feel that I'm always sick. All these medicines had a very big mental toll. The medicine would make me tired by the middle of the day. I would have to go to school. Then I would go lift away to my basketball team and then continue to do a practice after. This wore me out mentally and physically. With the goals of playing basketball at the next level, I felt very lost myself during this time. I went through my worst year of school. I hurt relationships with my family and with my friends. The biggest part for me throughout all this was the feeling of not being normal. I had to always carry around this fake look on me and make people know that I was fine on the outside, but on the inside I truly never was. The biggest mistake I made was not being honest with myself, my friends, and also my family, but especially my doctors and nurses. I believe that your mental health through this is the hardest part, and this is where we as a community and I as a person need to step up. Be there for those who need it. If you're going through something mentally, don't keep it inside. Speak up. Let the doctors and those who love you help you. They're there for a reason. I feel as a patient who's been through this for 3 years, that the community and doctors need to play a better part in controlling the mental aspect of it. There's nothing we can do about it right now. We're fighting for a cure for this tumor. But while we wait and figure out the best opportunity, we need to be there first for the patients themselves. Doctors and researchers, I can imagine, the effort put into this may sometimes be overwhelming and underappreciated. But the best thing is to not stop. We need to continue to fight for a cure. As the late great Jimmy Valvano said while battling this cancer, don't give up, don't ever give up. This plays a role for us as patients, but also for the researchers and those in the foundation and our surrounding community. To wrap it up, another quote I always like to think about and leave you with is, life is short, make the most of it no matter what. Some things we can't control, and we can't let those road bumps tear us down. But instead, take those road bumps and help us be a bigger and better person. As much as I dislike this tumor and everything that it has put me through, is realize life in a bigger aspect. Love yourself and be happy that you're still living to this day. Thank you.